Welcome to Chiaroscuro, the Art of Living Life. This reading is going to be about how to stay happy when times are uncertain. If there's any uncertainty going on, you don't know what's going to happen in life, in the world, in your job, in whatever may be going on with you. How do you stay centered and happy and navigate through uncertain territory? We have 4 different piles to choose from. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. There will be a picture, a close-up of the options. I'll list it down in the timestamp so that you can just kind of go to the picture and pause if you need to, and go with where your intuition is telling you, or your eye, where your eye keeps looking, to know which pile to pick for you. If you have watched my videos before, thank you for coming back. If you are new to the channel, just a couple of things. These readings are timeless, so if I recorded it a year ago, it could still be applicable to you if you are drawn to the reading. If multiple energies show up in the reading, keep in mind that the energies could be vice versa, such as maybe there's another person that's showing up in the reading and I'm saying X, Y, and Z about this person, but it actually resonates more for you. So those energies can be flip-flopped in the reading, so just take it as it resonates. And then these are general readings, so please keep in mind some things may not resonate with you, some may. So if it doesn't resonate, just don't take it, since it is a general reading. And we're going to move on to deck number 1. If you chose deck number 1, this is going to be the reading for you on how to stay happy in uncertain times. So we're going to start off with your oracle cards. Okay, so we have 48, number 48, poised, which breaks down to 12, which breaks down to 3, and 7, if those numbers resonate, if they mean anything to you. So what I'm seeing here in these cards is that there kind of is a new, either you have some kind of new opportunity or a new way of being is what helps you feel happy in uncertain times. It's a new, it may even be just a new perspective. Confidence here. Confidence in your ability to go with the flow. Because as you can see, this to the sea, this person's just riding this boat, and when she just allows the current to take her where she's supposed to go, where she's meant to go. There are no obstacles, there are no difficulties, it just kind of happens. So you may be struggling with uncertainty because you don't believe in your ability to handle it, your ability to flow with it. It's interesting because we kind of have a time, or a card, I'm sorry, of like new starts, and it's time for action and a time for non-action here. So this may be learning to take action by going with the flow instead of trying to control everything. We'll see how these cards, what happens. I already pre-shuffled the deck. Actually, I'm going to give it one more. It's a little bit annoying to shuffle these with this cord here, but let's see what's going on. Cutting your losses just came to mind. Perhaps things seem uncertain because the challenge is whether or not to walk away. When do you know when it's time to leave something and move in a new direction? Oh yeah. You definitely are ready for a new start. So the uncertainty here for you, pile number one, seems to be a new start, a new direction. Maybe something you haven't done before, which is why it seems uncertain. That's actually rather exciting, and this is kind of the energy to embrace. You may be embracing it or you may need to, where it's like, I'm ready for a new adventure, and this is really exciting. And it's just going to kind of work out. Because like with those oracle cards we saw before, perhaps now you have the confidence in yourself to actually be able to go with the flow, to make these changes and to just allow things to happen. I do see you trying to do this very logically. Really wanting to know the truth, to see all sides of the story, to really logically and clearly see things. We do kind of we have some swords here, the mind. You're thinking about this. The challenge, though, is when to walk away. The Five of Swords reversed. And also evaluating, I think evaluating what battles aren't worth your time. Like situations where nobody's going to win. And instead of, you're kind of, in a way, getting ready to leave these situations, to allow yourself to be able to go with the flow, to step into the unknown and just kind of see what happens. Bottom of the deck energy, Five of Wands reversed, another 5. Removing chaos. Maybe even removing people from your life who may be behaving childishly, or situations where nobody's listening. Perhaps, too much ego is in the way and you're kind of done with these ego battles and even engaging in them yourself. You're ready for something that flows, where you're not just meeting resistance after resistance after resistance. In the past, I can see you being very impatient, perhaps even angry. There is some chaos here that I'm seeing you wanting to break away from. So perhaps you acted rashly. Maybe you let the chaos get the best of you. And I think that energy is kind of, you're learning from that. You see now where maybe you aggravated the situation, or not necessarily aggravated, the role you played in it. It doesn't absolve anybody of anything, but you're kind of taking responsibility for yourself and starting to make a shift where it's like, maybe I didn't handle that well, but me continuing to engage in this just creates more conflict, and so it's time for me to kind of cut these ties. At the root, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. This is in a way kind of either maybe there's codependent habits that you're breaking free of. Maybe you've relied on somebody for some kind of stability instead of providing it for yourself, and that's what's getting broken. That pattern that is what you're moving away from. However, consciously, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. I think that it's just, in a way, it sucks. I'm kind of getting the impression that like you're trying to wrangle something. You're trying to get something under control. You have been. And staying in a situation where there may be codependent ties, where you may be dependent on some kind of stability, whether it's a relationship and money, there's money ties there, whether it's a job and you're dependent on the income, whether even just the presence of somebody there is stabilizing. Whatever you've been in the past clinging to for stability, you're now learning to provide that for yourself. But it involves you letting go of some things that you may have invested in, and it may make your heart hurt a little bit. And I say a little bit because I'm feeling also with this card that instead of focusing on the fact that it's disappointing that these things are over, or this thing, I'm hearing that it's kind of a shift to, I want to focus on myself now. I want to give myself the love that I deserve and take care of myself, do it myself. Either without the strain of the stress of this chaos or the codependency. It's like this new adventure. It's the adventure of taking care of yourself and starting to gain confidence in your own abilities and going with the flow eases any hurt that you may be feeling. It doesn't mean it's not there, but it's really a matter of shifting it. You could be focused on the fact that you could be walking away from something that you've invested a lot in, and you're leaving it. It's over. You could feel sadness from this, or you could be viewing it as, it's time to cut these cords of chaos, the fights, the anger, the stress, the lack of just everything being out of control, and I keep trying to control it and it isn't controllable. I'm trying to make it stable and it can't be made stable. So in order for me to find the stability that I really want, I need to break free and move in a different direction. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. This is healing. That's what you're moving into. By removing yourself from this chaos and taking the leap of faith of going in the direction of the new direction, going with the flow, just knowing you're going to handle it. You've handled it this far, you're going to handle it again. And then you allow yourself to heal from this chaotic situation, from the way that it has hurt you. You heal the wounds and you effectively stop future pain that would result from continuing to engage in this. There is somebody in your life, a friend, a partner. There is somebody that you view as an equal who can help you, who help guide you through this, who's got your back, who can help you with this. Interesting. The Three of Cups for your hopes and fears. I usually find this card to be intertwined. What you hope for is also what you fear. And it's odd. It's almost like you fear that you're going to have fun on your own. You're going to that it's just going to kind of work for you. Again, we have these two very supportive energies of other people. So there's friends, family, there are people in your life that can help support you in this. But also having fun. There's something about having fun, celebrating the victory that you're hoping for, but you fear it at the same time. I'm going to pull a clarifying card for this one. Perhaps it's just that it's something new. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe the chance to build something for you and to have fun doing it with like-minded people is something you haven't done before. And there may be some hesitation, some fear, excuse me, or distrust related to the people you might be building something new with. Maybe you aren't sure because of all of this past conflict. You aren't sure if they're in it for the right reasons, but I'm seeing that the new people, the people you're moving toward, the people who don't provide you with chaos, the people who provide support, encouragement, fun, good things like that, those people, I'm seeing that they're not necessarily going to backstab you. But I feel like you're so used to people creating chaos for you that the idea of creating something new and having it be fun and doing it with a bunch of other people who are like-minded and enjoying them and having that connection almost seems like it's not possible. But that's ultimately, I think, where your happiness lies, what you're moving toward. Eventually you will have to decide. You don't have to decide now, but this isn't going to be a decision that you're going to make with logic. You're going to have to use your intuition. You're going to have to go with the flow. So, if you aren't going to, it seems like you're going to break away from to take this new start. To break away from chaotic situations that are just fighting and anger and chaos and ego battles and things that aren't moving anywhere. And you're going to, at some point, stand up for yourself and say you want a different life and jump into that unknown, to take that chance, to break away from these chaotic things in order to do what is actually fulfilling to you, to move in a direction that feels good, to actually build something new. Instead of having kind of codependency here as a root, you can have self-sufficiency, your ability to create it yourself. Co-creation, working with other people. So, numero uno, though, before that can actually happen, there is healing that needs to be done from this chaos that you have been engaging in. Because it is hurting you. So allow that healing to happen. I would say start switching your focus to how to take care of yourself. What fulfills you? Where do you feel confident? Like we have with this poised card. What do you already have confidence about yourself in? Where do you already feel confident? Start in working with that. Start lining up these people, these people that are around you that are very supportive. Start talking to them. Start maybe brainstorming with them about where you want to go, what you want to do. But numero uno, before anything can happen, you will have to heal yourself. Because without healing yourself, you won't be able to trust in your ability to go with the flow, which this card, believe it or not, is very much about, because she's weighing two different options here that are, but she can't actually see. So you have these waters behind her, these calm, still waters of intuition, of feeling, feeling. Look at that water there. And that's what guides her. And it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, although I suspect you've got some people in your life that it will make sense to, and they will support you, where maybe you can't logically articulate why you're doing what you're doing. It just feels right, and they'll go with it. Cool. Knowing what feels right involves you healing yourself first. And before that, letting go of the chaos, of the drama, cutting out the things that aren't supportive to you, that are draining you, that create fights and trouble and distraction. There's like a new dawn coming for you. Lots of yellow, A new dawn, like that Nina Simone song, I'm Feeling Good. Maybe listen to that. If you aren't familiar with it, it's a great song, super empowering. So you've got all this uncertainty. It's cool. It's all right. You can do it. You can handle it. You're going to get your head. Your head does seem to be on straight. It's really more about connecting to that flowy, intuitive side that needs to happen. Get yourself out of situations that are hurting you. Stop letting it hurt you. And enjoy the journey of getting ready to start building something new. something exciting, something fulfilling, providing your own stability for yourself. I hope I articulated this correctly, because this is really powerful and this is really exciting. At least to me, like if I got this reading, to me it's like you're teetering right there on the edge of the mountain, getting ready to jump off the cliff into something new, a new phase of your life that is far happier. And you're ready for it. You're ready for this now. You're ready to go with the flow. The uncertainty of it doesn't have to scare you, because you'll believe in yourself. You know that you are capable of knowing what needs to be done, which at sometimes, maybe it's an action, maybe it's not doing anything and just going where there's the least resistance, where you aren't running into obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Oh, over here, it's just wide open. I'm going to go that way. But this will be a different, I don't know if you've done it this way before, so that's why it feels so uncertain. But trust yourself, because you've got it. You've got what it takes to make the decisions. You just have to trust yourself. All right, this concludes the reading. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. I want to do one more. Let's do one of these bad boys for final advice for deck number 1. I am standing on the leading edge of thought. Just as all of your experiences from the time of your birth into your physical body until now have accumulated into who you are now, all that has ever been experienced by all that is has accumulated into all that is now being experienced in the physical life experience on planet Earth. That was a little bit of a mouthful. Basically, all of the experiences you've had are what in their totality has made you who you are. And you can learn from that. But now it's time to learn from that and create a new experience, to have a new life, new experiences, and new direction, which is controlled by your thoughts and your emotions. That's the easiest way, to be honest. In my opinion, it's actually more about the emotions. The thoughts trigger the emotions, so it's more important to feel the right things, and then the right thoughts come. Sometimes that's easier than trying to control your thoughts. Interesting. I'm standing on the leading edge of thought. You are a creator. It's time to create a new life for yourself. All right, this now concludes the reading for deck number 1. I'm going to move on to deck number 2. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below if you liked the reading. And I'll see you guys next time. If you picked deck number 2, this is going to be the reading for you on how to find happiness in uncertain times. Let's start with the oracle cards. Let's see what you got going on. All right, so you're putting some pressure on yourself. TikTok reversed. It's like you feel like the time for you to achieve your goals and what you want is running out. That whatever uncertainty going on around you, maybe you're creating the uncertainty, maybe because you're focused on the fact that you feel like time is running out when it isn't. It's creating that uncertainty because you don't know how you're going to achieve what you want when you want to. We do have co-create, so we have two things. You may feel like time is running out, but both of these cards say it is not running out. If you believe in source, spirit, your higher self, God, those things are all there helping you. And this is about learning to use that more. Your guides, how to manifest with the universe. You may need a partner, but this card is mainly about partnering with the universe to manifest what you want. You know, partnering with yourself and less about another, but there are two figures here. There may be somebody else who is an owl, right? Who knows a lot, who knows maybe a little bit, who's the wise owl, who knows more about what you want to do than you do, who can help guide you through it. Maybe things haven't happened because that mentor is coming, or there's some higher wisdom that is coming to you from the universe that then will facilitate things. But we have timing here, divine timing. So you can't force something into existence that you may not be ready for. So when the time is right, you will get the information that you need that then allows you to move forward. I'm going to give these one more shuffle. I pre-shuffled them before for deck number 2's energy. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so something's falling apart. This could be your home. This could be your family. This could be your job. This could be a career that you've had for a very long time. Or you're working to build a legacy for yourself, so to speak, and it isn't happening. Maybe you aren't looking big enough. Maybe you're still trying to build something, but the ideas that you have are too small, actually, for what you really do want to achieve. The Knight of Wands. Actually, I can't contain myself. I'm just gonna talk, so I'm gonna pull all of these cards first. This is inspiration. Maybe you're working for something with little reward. You're putting in the effort, but it isn't building into anything. This is inspiration coming, the challenge that there's a fire in your belly that needs to be lit. A passion, a desire. That's the challenge, is getting motivated about this. And I'm seeing you work at the root. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow, consistent work. You're not overextending yourself, but you're not neglecting anything either. You are consistently putting an effort into something that, for all intents and purposes, doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I am feeling a little bit of a financial component here. Like maybe you want your own career. You want to blast off into your own direction and do your own thing. And you're trying to do that, but it seems like all the effort that you're doing isn't paying off. In the past, you've been content. I think you felt good about what it is that you are doing. This feels good, but I'm still not seeing passion. Passion creates the drive. Wands are also very spiritual. So perhaps this is a connection to your higher self that is necessary for you to actually receive the inspiration that you need and the passion to move forward. There's something that you're missing with regards to what you want to do. There's a piece that you're missing. However, don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep working at it, is what I'm seeing. Don't worry about whether or not it's working out, because you're investing into something that obviously fires you up to some degree. Maybe you may have lost a little, you might have disconnected from that passion a little bit, because it isn't working out, and maybe money's tight, or something's, maybe there's stress in the family, things. You could be feeling the squeeze and thinking to yourself, well, it's not happening, so maybe it's not right for me, and that's not the case. You just have to reconnect with that passion and that spirit and with yourself. for you, where you are, pile number 2, we have the Eight of Wands. I think you've got a lot of ideas. I think there's a lot of things you want to do, actually. And perhaps that's the problem. Perhaps you need to focus it on one. Instead of having 8 different irons in the fire, focus it on one. And really work that one. And then you can add the others later. But in order to establish something, you have to work one thing and just put your effort there. If some things can be combined into one, where you're really just putting your effort in one direction and not like, oh, well, I'm going to split my attention between 2 things and just combine it as one and say that that's what it is. If you can really focus on one thing, one aspect of what it is you want to create, then I think things will really start to change. So it feels uncertain because where you've been putting your effort, it isn't, you think it's not paying off, except that it is. We have the Emperor here. And I think that this is twofold. I think that you do eventually establish yourself in the career that you want to do. This whole experience is part of the knowledge that is needed for you to lead, to guide, to protect, to become an authority in your field. So you can become the authority, but I think also this is the understanding that the work that you are putting in here is what leads to you being a boss. Because the Emperor got where he got through hard work. He wasn't just, well, I guess if you think about lineages, he could have been, a king might have been given to him, but the Emperor technically had to start all these wars and take over all this territory. An emperor is usually created, and not kingship is what's passed down by birth. I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Regardless, the Emperor has worked for for his kingdom, for his reign. And with that comes knowledge. He's gained the knowledge in order to effectively lead. So right now, maybe the challenge, the Knight of Wands, is that because this is like a lower vibe version of the Emperor, maybe you aren't quite where you need to be yet. You don't have the focus, maybe you don't have the discipline. I mean, I'm seeing you working, but this implies effort, but perhaps unfocused. That's what I mean with the discipline to focus it. Focus on one thing. But this Knight of Wands energy is evolving into an Emperor. So maybe give yourself a little bit of a break, because you do know what you want. You do know where you want to go, but you just don't quite have the knowledge yet of how to do it. And continuing to put the pressure on yourself, like we saw with that TikTok card reversed, is going to continue to stall things. Because I think that there is information, there is even a mentor. Maybe this is the mentor that we saw in that co-create card that comes your way. Somebody takes you under their wing and wants to help you succeed because they believe in what you do. And they have experience in some way, and they want you to succeed as well. They want to share what they know with you so that you can become an emperor. Consciously, again, I'm feeling like your attention is divided. I think that this is, we have the division between all of the ideas that you want to make a reality, but then I think that this is also externally divided. Maybe you've got multiple jobs right now. Maybe what your passion is not actually making you income, and you've got to make it elsewhere, and so it's dividing your attention. Your attention is being divided outside of your passion as well. And you're trying to just stay on top of it all you are, but it's difficult. It means you have less effort to put toward what you really want to do. But maybe that's what you've got to do right now. Until where your passion is starts popping, maybe you do need to do what you need to do. But don't let it distract from where you're going. Still focus on lining up with your higher self, with receiving that divine guidance, with even people maybe coming around and giving you some advice that if it resonates, if it like sings in you and you're like, ooh, that's good, then listen to that. Listen to the vibration of it. I think you're struggling because of money. I think maybe you're running out of money. Maybe you're tired of working for other people. Maybe you're tired of jobs you've done before, that it isn't what you want. It isn't what you're passionate about. And you're tired of doing this work that you don't want to do just to make money. So I think that the environment you're in, and maybe even the constraints of like everyday physical life, like paying bills and cooking and cleaning and doing all of that is excuse me, in a way overwhelming you because your attention's so divided. It's so divided but by all of these things that you don't really want to do. And then it's also further divided by all the things you do want to do that you're working, but you aren't achieving because you need to focus. All of these eight ideas, maybe you have 8, maybe you have 4, maybe you have 5, whatever they are. Don't get rid of them, but you have to prioritize to get yourself started. And then at some point, you'll be in the position to maybe to do more at once, but to get something started, to get what you want moving in the direction you want it to be in, you're going to have to pick one thing. Hopes and fears, the Fool. I think this is, you hope and you fear at the same time. You fear breaking free of all of these distractions that you don't really want. All of these distractions you don't really want to deal with. You fear that because I think your finances are tied into that. So what if you left all of those crap jobs you don't really want to be working, but they're paying your bills? You hope for that. You want that freedom. You want that freedom to have all of the time to develop what you want to develop. But you fear that at the same time. I mean, you can't see where you're going. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think you may even be doubting your ability to co-create, to actually manifest, to work with the energetic vibration, to work with the universe to create what you want. Even though you've successfully done it in the past. Oh, look at this bottom of the energy deck. Bottom of the deck energy. 5 of Wands. Too many competing interests. Unfocused. This could also be maybe a brainstorming session with somebody who knows what they're doing. Just as a side thought for some people out there. Ultimately, what this comes down to is you figuring out, is you deciding whether or not you're going to start creating with yourself. I think that this, though this is the Ace of Cups and it's reversed, I think that this is basically mimicking this co-create card. This is that kind of go within, know thyself, connect to yourself on that emotional, intuitive level. And then it just kind of, the good vibes just overflow. I think things are going to get so insanely good for you very soon. So don't give up. You know, I can see there's a little bit of wobbling. Do I stay? Do I keep doing this job that I don't want to do? Or engaged in these things that are distracting me from my real purpose, from my real desire? And I think that that's just going to kind of clear itself up on its own. You don't have to worry about making a decision. The only thing I would suggest to you in this uncertain times, how are you going to make it work? Don't worry about it. Refocus on your passion and pick one part of it. Pick one part of it. And then realign with yourself. There's a little bit of fine-tuning that needs to be done, a higher level of connection to self, where you are listening to your own guidance system, you're listening to the universe in order for you to get the information that you need for the next step. Because I'm still drawn to that owl and the fact that we have the Knight here, and Knight of Wands, and the Emperor. There's something you don't know. There's a piece missing. So that piece will come when you are ready. So get yourself ready. Maybe it's time for some more meditating. Maybe it's time for a vacation from all of the BS stuff that you're engaging in. Maybe it's time to, what's something else? Something else coming to mind. Maybe get out in nature a little bit. I know that sounds trite, and a lot of people say that, but it's surprisingly grounding. Can recenter your own energy. Like, even if you just put your feet on the dirt in the grass for a few minutes. Although, where I am now, it's getting kind of cold for that. Yeah, focus. Align with yourself. Take steps to do that. Focus on your passion and pick one part of it. Develop one part of it. You could always develop the others later. And either the answers come, or a mentor comes into your life, or you start to be established as an authority. And just the overwhelming love you're going to feel for the people you are guiding and what you will do will just be magnificent. That's just going to continue to add fuel to it in a good way to encourage all of these other things to come into manifestation. So you're right there. You're pretty damn close. I would say, I feel like 3 months things really start changing. So just keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Get yourself ready, because it's changing. And it's going to be magnificent. So don't worry about the instability. Don't even worry about it. Let it go. Focusing on it is just going to... Anything uncertain, anything unstable, don't worry about it, because it's going to change. It's definitely going to change. All right, this concludes the reading for deck number 2. If you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'm going to move on to... Oh, no! Oh! I hope you guys are staying. I forgot. I want one more card. I keep forgetting about these. I go through my whole end of reading spiel, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. One more. I'm going to get one more oracle card for you. Okay, that just fell out. We'll take that. My attention to it invites it in. This is important about where you're putting your attention and your focus. Every thought that you give your attention to expands and becomes a bigger part of your vibrational mix. Whether it is a thought of something you want or a thought of something you do not want, your attention to it invites the essence of it into your experience. Reshifting your focus. Don't worry about the instability. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Don't even go there, because you want a different life. You are attracting something else. You want to create and manifest something else. Focus on what you want to manifest. Keep alive that passionate energy within you and stay focused. All right, moving on to deck number 3. If you picked pile number 3, this is going to be the reading for you on how to stay happy during uncertain times. Let's start with some oracle cards. All right, we have Observer 49 and Deep Knowing 43. My guess, well, not my guess. It's kind of what I'm feeling from these cards. We got 2 moons in here. I think whatever's going on that's unstable or uncertain, it's time for you to take a step back from. This is kind of making me think of the objective observer, where you remove yourself from the situations in order to have an objective, depersonalized perspective, where you're not taking things personally. You're not invested in it. You're just kind of taking a step back and observing it, neutrally observing it, in order to gain a higher understanding of it. I also think in a way there's something going on with you that whatever is uncertain, you need to take a step back from, because you're too involved in it in order to see it for what it is. And also you're too involved in it to hear your own internal guidance system. You aren't able to hear your own intuitive guidance right now because you're too enmeshed. And so this is also kind of take a step back, detach, become an objective observer so that you can actually hear your own intuitive guidance system to guide you through the uncertain times. That's what I'm getting from these cards. The moon is also, it's kind of like maybe you can't see things quite so clearly. What you think you know, you don't. It isn't as obvious. The answers or what's going on is not very clear right now. And the only way for you to really know what's going on is to listen to your intuition, to detach from the situation and re-engage with your own intuition and your own ability to guide yourself. I said this in another video. I saw this YouTuber that said basically the outside, the external environment is the inspiration. The answers are inside. And I freaking loved it. That's very, very applicable here. The answers are inside. All right, let's see what's going on. Ooh. Somebody's thrown you for a loop. Somebody we have here at the root, the Knight of Cups. I think somebody loves you. I'm not laughing because that's funny. It's just, I'm hearing this in my head, like, somebody loves you, like that. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry. Oh, I've embarrassed myself now. Anyway, somebody loves you. It's either it's somebody from your past who's coming back, who has come back, or it's somebody that like you're still involved with, but they've hurt you in some way. And in the past, you've decided to let it go, to kind of move on. They might still be in your life because they are here as the root. So they've either come back or they're coming back. No, I'm going to go with that they've already come back. This could even be like a friend that things just kind of didn't work out and you guys stayed friends. Or this could be an ex-lover who's just kind of hung around and you've let go, you've moved on from the dysfunction, or the ways that that relationship hurt you, but they're still here. They're still present in your life. It's not like a no contact situation. They're still there. But they love you. And this is throwing you out of whack because you did what you let go, you let go, and to some degree. You did let go and move on in the past, but we do have as the challenge the Six of Swords reversed. So this is kind of holding on to that past baggage. So though you may have released them and you're not like clinging on to them and trying to hold on to them, you're just like kind of, all right, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to let you do it, whatever. You're still holding on to the fact that they did hurt you. So you have let go of them in a way, but you're still holding on to the ways that they hurt you. That's the challenge right now. So you've got this adorable Knight of Cups coming in. Oh, I love you. And you're like, I don't know that I want that. I don't think I want to go through what I went through and let go of again. I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know the risk is worth it. But on some level, you want this person. It's like they were the dream at one point. And maybe now you've gotten a little bit more real about who they are, but they're still the dream in a way. It's like making the dream a reality. That's what they want to, make the dream a reality with you. And on one hand, you want that too. But the challenge is you ain't let go of how they messed up in the past. That's the uncertainty. What do you do? What do you do? Like, you could see it working with this person. You could see it eventually, like, becoming something great, but do you want to take that risk? You are very undecided. What do I do? It is so uncertain. I have this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm hearing in my head. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want this person, but I don't know that I believe that they're going to be good to me. I don't believe that, because they haven't been in the past. And I don't know what makes things different now. Except now it is different, because instead of them messing around, they're coming to me, like, really being into me. And they didn't do that before, but I don't know. I can't read them. I can't tell what's going on with them. I don't know what to believe. Because, you know, maybe one minute they're hot, when they're cold. There's mixed signals from you and from them. And they might be reacting to your mixed signals. Maybe you're reacting to theirs. It could be a mirroring situation, to be honest. We do have the moon here for what you're moving into. Uncertainty. Fear. I think with this, I think that this person can't, they're coming. If they haven't come already, they're coming. And they're going to tell you something that, because of this pain you haven't hurt, or you haven't released, is going to trigger a lot of fear for you. Because you don't know. Not only does it trigger fear, because they'll be like, oh no, I love you, and I want this, and I want the world with you. You're not even going to know if you can believe that. But they're in fear too. We got two little fear dogs here howling at the moon. And so I'm thinking with this is that you guys actually talk. You talk about this. The things that you haven't talked about before. The things you haven't admitted to each other. The things that haven't been discussed, that have been hidden in the span of the relationship. In a very, like, calm way. I think that's why that observer card is there. Because it isn't about getting mad and lashing out at them. It's about really talking about it. You know, X, Y, and Z, it kind of hurt me. And I get it. Like, it was just kind of triggering my own insecurities because of whatever happened to me in the past. And, you know, I'm working on it. I understand that it's there. It did illuminate some things for me. We do have, you know, the little creepy crawly crustacean coming out of the water. So some things, you two are triggering old fears of each other. But I think that you're going to talk about it in a deeper way. The deeper hidden things are coming to the surface, and the two of you howl at the moon together. I think you guys are going to be more similar than you realize. You're both probably fearing the same thing about each other. And things become clear. I view you, deck number 3, the position representing you is the Hangman reversed. There's information you're going to receive that then you will know how to act. Then you will know. Then it won't be so uncertain anymore. When this moon happens, when this communication happens, when things are revealed, you're going to know then. You're going to know what to do. Especially if you've kind of detached emotionally a little bit. Not forever, but just forward this conversation, because you're going to have to listen to your own guidance system, even to overcome your own fears, to be able to tell them the truth as well. It's not even just about, festering out if they're telling the truth or not. It's about you also telling the truth, the real truth, the intuitive, deep truth. And so you're going to have to detach from your emotions so the fear doesn't kick in and you don't say things out of fear. You can talk about the fear, which I think is really where you're moving to. You're going to talk about this uncertainty. You're going to talk about that you don't know. You don't even know if you can trust this person. And you are different. We've got a dog and a coyote. But both canine, similar but different. It feels really magical, but you will know. You'll know when to act, because you'll get the information and you'll know what to decide, what the decision is. Consciously, we have death. I think this is twofold. I think that you have to you're ready to close the door on the way that this relationship was in the past and to start something new. I also think that this is closing the door on fear in order to start something new. Closing old karmic patterns in order to start something new. Releasing baggage to start something new. Whatever is ending needs to end in order for you to move forward with this relationship. Because I think that that's what's going to happen. We have the ultimate outcome as the 10 of Cups. So I think you guys are going to work it out in a very harmonious way, by the way. It's like it goes so deep, but you're both rewarded for being that open, for being that vulnerable, for really talking about this stuff. It makes each of you care about each other even more. It strengthens that bond together. Hopes and fears, Temperance. Can it be worked out? I hope it can be, but I fear it too, because it requires me to face my fears, and that's not going to feel very pleasant. However, it will be so worth it. So worth it. And then your environment, we have the sun reversed. So there's an issue with this, with your environment. Maybe you're seeing each other too much. Like maybe this is somebody you see a lot. And that's kind of part of the problem. Maybe space is an issue. And so it makes things a little bit more difficult, because in the way that you are enmeshed in each other's lives. Seems intense. Seems very intense and interconnected. And close. Like you can see what they do, if that makes sense. But on the good side, it's actually really allowed you to get to know this person at a different level than if you'd been farther away. I don't know how this makes sense, so take that as that resonates. But there's something about proximity where it's like too close. At least for the beginning of like a love relationship, too close. Could cause problems. Maybe roommates or like neighbors, or you live in the same neighborhood or something where like it's just kind of too close. And the space, being able to detach from it would help you get less triggered by fear. Somebody loves you. I still am hearing it in my head. I'm going to get one more oracle card to close out this reading. Okay. In summary, whenever you guys have this conversation, whenever things come to light, before that point, it's time for you to recognize your own fears. What fears are aggravating the situation? What haven't you let go of? And start working on that. You're going to get some information then that puts you in the position to act. Start detaching a little bit, like, not detaching, like shutting down emotionally, but you do need to kind of observe. You need to see more without the emotions being present so that you can have an objective perspective. That's what is going to help temper those fears. But there's going to be a very revealing conversation, and I think it's going to change the nature of this relationship. It's going to go in a new direction. I will do my best to make the best of it. A key to regaining your feeling of empowerment is to decide right now that no matter how good or how bad you are feeling, you are going to do your best to make the best of it. Do that again and again, and in a short period of time, you will find yourself in a very good feeling place. So you feel uncertain, you feel unstable, you don't know what to do, you have no idea what you're going to decide, you're feeling all over the place. Decide right now that no matter how good or bad you are feeling, you're going to make the best of it. Do what you can to make the best of every situation. Also, I think maybe stop obsessing about this, stop thinking about it. It will work itself out when it's time. Use it as an opportunity to recognize old fears or old patterns you may have repeated in the past and learn to let those go. Because though you think you may be moving into rocky waters, you're not. Maybe initially with this revealing conversation, I think that that's going to be very interesting. And it's going to require that observer and that deep knowing card we talked about at the beginning, but ultimately it leads to a very harmonious place. It's interesting what you guys could create together. Anyway, this concludes the reading for deck number 3. I hope you liked it. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'm going to move on to deck number 4. If you chose deck number 4, or pile number 4, this is going to be the reading for you on how to find happiness amidst uncertain times. All right, let's see what your oracle cards are. Oh, check this out. Happy. Yeah, reading about happiness. We got happy. Boom. You have soulmates reversed and message in a bottle reversed. You're the only one that got 3 oracle cards, by the way. So this reading may have kind of maybe a couple of storylines going through it. I don't know how this resonates with you guys, but it's kind of like these cards are saying happiness lies. One, this is about just finding contentment and joy in whatever's going on around you. That there's always something fun, so always something joyful about what you are experiencing. And I think this more specifically has to do with a situation with a soulmate. Soulmates come in all shapes and colors and sizes and ages and genders. So it doesn't necessarily have to be love, but it is somebody that you are connected to. And somebody who is triggering you right now. Somebody who's come into your life to teach you something, as soulmates tend to do. And as a result, they're probably not behaving in the best of ways. Because we've got message in the bottle here. What red flags are you ignoring? What signs, what messages do you not want to hear? What maybe they're telling you something. I'm not ready, or I can't do this, or something, and you're not listening to, because you don't want to hear it, because it isn't what you want to hear. It isn't what you want. So it's interesting because we have you're kind of fighting happiness in a way, because you're so focused on what you want that you aren't allowing things to just kind of flow. There's a controlling aspect here. Instead of just kind of going with things, you want what you want. And you will ignore things. You may be ignoring things that you don't want to hear, because that are uncomfortable, because there's a soulmate in your life that is in your life to teach you something, and you're kind of rejecting it instead of seeing the beauty in what they're teaching you. So that could be a variety of different things. We're gonna pull some clarifiers. We'll see, or some more cards. We'll see what's going on with that. I'm also feeling that this happy card also has a little bit to do with, even if you do have a soulmate in your life who's kind of, for lack of a better word, wreaking havoc in it, they're teaching you something, they're triggering something. It's uncomfortable, it's unpleasant, it's uncertain. In a way, it's time for you to find happiness, to not have your happiness be dependent on how relationships are going in your life. Your happiness is your happiness, regardless of what's going on. There's always something you can find to be joyful about. Your happiness isn't dependent on the relationships. And learning that is also a big lesson. Maybe that's what the soulmate is supposed to be telling you. That you are rejecting because you want them to be responsible for your happiness. But they aren't. We'll see. That's just something else. For some of you, maybe that resonates. For some of you, maybe it doesn't. Dang it. Let's hope that stays. All right. Oh yeah. There's definitely fighting. There's definitely conflict. There's an ego battle going on right now between you and a soulmate. And it is because you guys want different things. Here's the battle. 5 of Swords. Definitely an ego battle. And you guys may be going at it. I mean, you guys want to win. Each one of you wants to win. Because it has to do with what you value. So you can't exactly compromise what you value. You shouldn't. But you shouldn't also stay in a relationship and beat somebody down because they don't value what you value. That's not healthy either. Excuse me, I think I'm getting allergies. So I think that there's fighting or disharmony. Well, there's definitely fighting. There's definitely ego battles. There's a power struggle. Somebody wants control. Everybody wants control. But the way that you guys are going about it means that one person's going to lose. And that's not going to create a healthy relationship. At the root, we have Temperance reversed. We also have the 3 of Cups reversed up above. I'm seeing, and we have in the past the 10 of Pentacles reversed. I'm seeing a lot here that could indicate substance abuse. Perhaps somebody is drinking too much or they're partying too much, and that's causing problems. I'm also seeing a lack of commitment. One of the people in this relationship just wants to run wild. They just want to run free. At least in the past, especially. Even currently, though, there's still potentially some substance abuse. There's definitely imbalance. And definitely kind of out of whack. Extremes. Behaving in extremes. This could be you. This could be the other person. This could be both of you. And that's what's that maybe there's too many substances being used, and that's what's creating the imbalance in the relationship. I'm actually not really feeling a cheating vibe. Though with these cards, you might think that there could potentially be one, but I just see somebody who isn't committing. In the past, they didn't commit. And maybe the conflict is now that they want to. Somebody wants to. They're ignoring the signs. They want to commit, even though it's not right now. Somebody in this relationship can't do it. They don't have it. They don't currently have the ability, and maybe for even a little while, to give you what you want, or vice versa. So you're fighting with this person, trying to get them to be who you want them to be, and ignoring the signs that they're putting out that say that they can't. They're not ready to. They have their own stuff to deal with. And I don't think that they feel very empowered right now. I think they're either struggling with self-confidence, or both of these things, struggling with self-confidence or over-controlling. There's something that you're missing here. You've missed the signs that maybe they are a little bit domineering and tyrannical. And you've just seen them running around being a free spirit, thinking they're a free spirit, and maybe they're not. There's signs of something that you're missing. So either this isn't actually a relationship that you want in its current form, or they aren't able to give you the relationship that you want because they aren't in a good place themselves. And they need the time to get out of that. So that's why it's telling you, happy, happy. Work on your own happiness. Don't worry about this. I do want to pull a clarifier for this card here. Man, there's a lot of ego. So we've got the Hangman reversed. Something's going to become clear to you in the near future, the Seven of Swords. In some way, they either haven't been completely honest with you, or they want all the swords. They want all the power. You're going to see that, like, they want the upper hand. That little extra bit of controlling. Or, maybe they weren't honest about who they are. Maybe they tried to make themselves look way better, like they're a better person than they are, because they wanted to impress you, or something like that. It's not necessarily that they cheated. If they cheated, this is something that you already know about. Okay, there's no surprise cheating, but I feel more like this is, in a way, something, there's a reveal about who they are that they weren't honest about. Maybe they aren't honest to themselves about it. Maybe there's something that they try to hide, and they reveal it to you. Some aspect of themselves that makes them feel powerless, that makes them not have confidence in themselves. And then you're going to understand why they aren't in the position to have a relationship with you right now. That it isn't actually about you, it's actually about them, and how they're not ready to give. What's the energy at the bottom? Queen of Cups reversed. So you're letting this situation get the best of you. It's getting you all emotionally, all wacky. Maybe sometimes you're like really feeling the vibe, and then others you totally shut down and are very cold. This is getting you to be it's an emotional roller coaster that you are feeling inside, because you are continuing to engage in this instead of just focusing on your own happiness, which is also your hopes and fears. Your own independence, your own success. I think that this situation is actually detracting you from something else you want to achieve. Perhaps you're in the process of generating your own stability for yourself, your own security, your own achievements. You've got things you want to achieve, and I think that this is distracting you from it. So it's time to refocus on what makes you happy. You currently are the Two of Wands. I feel a little bit like you're waiting, you're hesitating, you want it all, and you're waiting for that to show up. Okay. I'm going to get one more oracle card before I summarize all of this for you. Now let's take this one. Why is it taking me so long? The only reason you have not already received what you desire is because you are holding yourself in a vibrational pattern that does not match the vibration of your desire. Ooh, so if you are looking for love, or whatever you got going on, but I feel very strongly that love is at play here. The only reason you haven't found the right partner is because you aren't at the vibration of that right partner. So this current situation is here to show you the ways in which you are not in alignment in order so that you can attract the right person. It could be this person, it may not be, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's this person, it's not going to be for a while, so I wouldn't wait. I would continue to do your thing, find your happy, go after what you want to achieve. Keep doing your thing, don't worry about them. Learn from this. The ways that they're triggering you, the ways that they are treating you, are showing you where you are not a vibrational match to the actual thing you desire, the actual partnership that you desire. So learn from it. Instead of being mad at them because they hurt you, take ego out of the equation and recognize that your reaction is what is hurting you, not anything that they actually did. And you are reacting in X, Y, and Z way because this is an old vibration that you are now getting ready to release so that you can attract the right person. That's deep. That's some deep stuff. I think that's it. That concludes the reading for deck number 4. If you liked it, please like... Oh, I did summarize, but... the uncertain times here... It's this person. Learn from the uncertainty. You're supposed to learn from the uncertainty. How you react to the uncertainty is showing you where you need to heal. So that you can get what you want. And just focus on what you want, having fun, being happy, achieving what you want, going for what you want. Don't let this person hold you back. Learn the lessons so that you can get what you want next time. Okay. That's the last message. If you like the reading, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. It helps me as a reader to know I'm doing a good job. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.